Hi all, this is Lakshmi working as assistant professor in the Department of ECE at SNS City. So today I'm here to discuss about the lecture series on the devices and bus standards in the course Embedded Systems and IoT. So in this lecture, let us discuss about the introduction to the input and output devices in embedded systems. So before going into the topic, so first let us do the design thinking approach of empathy to IO devices in the embedded system. So as far as these input and output devices are concerned, so we have to check whether the user has to check whether the system should respond accurately to the real world inputs, and also these devices should be reliable and fast, and the interfacing should be very simple and also power efficient, and these devices should be compatible with the microcontroller, and the feedback from the users about the response time and the usability should be taken into the consideration, and whatever the system designer gives the instruction regarding the pin configuration and the protocols and the industry standards for the sensory accuracy and the control of the activators which are used, and the constraints which are related to cost, size, and the power consumption should also be taken into the consideration. And the other part is here how to convert the physical signal into the digital data efficiently, and how the noise is reduced to improve the accuracy of the signal, and which IO protocols, like we have more protocols, communication protocols like SPI, I2C, UART, etc., which is going to best fit the application should be checked, and how the performance of these devices affects the overall system reliability, and all these factors are to be taken into consideration when we choose the IO devices. So the signal integrity and the timing issues, or it should be properly well interfaced and tested. And the these are the certain factors where we need to do the empathy in choosing the IO devices for our application. So So we all know that the embedded system, it is mainly designed to perform a specific task which combines both the software and hardware. Okay, and this interaction. So in an embedded system, the IO devices will be acting as the bridge or the interface between the embedded processor and the external environment. So they enable the system to receive the data, that is input, process it, and produce the response based on the program or logic, whatever it is. Based on our application, it will be producing the responses. So here the interaction which is facilitated by the IO devices. So we have variety of the IO devices which we use here for embedded application. So the major blocks in an embedded system will be our sensors, microcontroller, and the activators. Sensors as part of the input, and the output part we will be having activators and the controller. So this will control the IO devices, which is the main heart of this system. So we have digital input output devices as well as analog input output devices. So as far as these digital devices are concerned, it will handle only the discrete signal, which we represent as the zeros and ones in binary values, and they are used to interface the devices which produce the digital signals. So examples of these are push buttons and switches, the digital sensors, encoders, etc. And for the digital outputs, so we would be having LEDs, the relays, transistors, etc. So these are all the digital input and output devices. So similarly, we have the analog devices also. So what it actually does is the physical parameters, all these will be converted into the electrical signals, and it provides the data for decision making, and also enable the user interaction with the system. So analog sensors, so they are representing the measured value directly from the environment, and then it is converted with the help of the ADCs, and it is processed, and these outputs convert the digital values to analog signals, which is used for controlling the external devices. And potentiometer is one such example of analog input device. So that a function of that potentiometer is that it will provide the variable voltage, which is based on the position. And so when we talk about these IO devices, we have to discuss the serial communication interfaces which are used. So we have different types of communication protocols here. So the serial communication protocols are UART, SPI, I2C, CAN protocol, and USB. So these are certain serial communication interfaces. So here we know that UART, it is a data communication protocol for serial data transfer. Here this is asynchronous protocol, and mainly it connects the computers and GPS modules. And SPI is a high speed communication protocol for connecting the peripherals. And I2C, it is a two-wired communication, that is, we call this as inter-integrated circuit for multiple sensors or devices. And CAN is the controller area network. It is mainly used in vehicle communication, vehicle sectors, where the number of wires would be reduced by applying this CAN protocol. And USB is a serial communication protocol. So this is high-speed data transfer for serial protocol. So these are certain serial communication interfaces. So, and talking about the wireless communication interface, so we do have the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee, cellular, and the LoRaWAN. So Wi-Fi, it is the high-speed wireless access, internet access would be provided for the local networks, and Bluetooth is a short-range wireless communication protocol. And Zigbee is also it's a low power communication protocol. And cellular communication, we can talk about the 2G, the mobile communications like 2G, right, starting from 2G, 3G, and now we are in 6G. And the LoRaWAN, it supports long range communication protocol for IoT devices. So this is the overall summary of the IO devices. So we do have the display interfaces, the input side switches, buttons, and the push button, keypads, etc. Displays include OLED, LED, LCD, etc. And the lights, sensors, output devices, storage devices, the communication protocols. All these comes under the IO devices. So today's assessment is: which communication protocol is commonly used for interfacing multiple sensors with a microcontroller using only two wires? So as discussed, the inter-integrated circuit, that is I2C, is the two-wired protocols which is used to connect multiple sensors. And which of the following is used to display output in embedded system? So it is obviously understood that LCD module is a display device. Thank you.